A new feature that we recently added to the dashboard is the ability to replay and visualize the sound that has been recorded and that has formed one of these acoustic events. For that, let's change from Finwhale 20 Hz calls to BubbleNet feeding calls. And let's select a specific date range to see the recording and the events during one summer season in 2023. Here. Now, if you hover your mouse over any of the bubbles and you see a little microphone speaker next to the species and call type name in the top left corner of the hover info, you can click the bubble and a new window will pop up that will show you the species of the event and the call type, as well as the number of calls and the exact time that event has been recorded. At the bottom, you also see a spectrographic image of that recording sequence. You can interact with that sequence by moving along and inspecting the calls that have been detected and formed into an event. You can zoom out to see the entire event that has been selected for audio replay. And of course, you can play it. If you're interested in specific calls within that sequence, you can also place the cursor at a specific position and play from there. The acoustic event may be longer than what is displayed in this window. This has been chosen for reasons of computational effort in uploading and downloading to the internet. So each event will be restricted to 1 minute of recordings, and typically it has been chosen as the 1 minute that includes the most detected calls within that entire sequence. So while you're only seeing a minute of actual recording at the bottom, at the top here, it will show you how long the actual event has been. On the left side of the spectrogram window, you see the frequency scale that has been used by this whale species. So depending on the different species and call types that you record on your hydrophone, this may change. So let's check out a couple of different species and call types recorded on this hydrophone. Let's listen to humpback social calls. Orca calls have been detected during this year between May and July. The biggest event seems to be on July 21st, where about 300 calls have been recorded between 10 a.m. and 11:15. If we click on it, we again obtain 1 minute of audio file with the highest density of calls. If we select 20 Hz Finwhale calls and select one of the events with a microphone speaker in the top left corner, you again get information about the species, fin whales, and the call type, 20 Hz, as well as the length and the exact date of this event. Again, you can see that this event actually took 5 hours and 11 minutes, but only 1 minute will be displayed. The other thing you should see is that the frequency scale that is used to display these calls has been changed. the calls naturally happen at a different frequency, and they've been actually sped up in this case to make them audible. While true finwheel calls are, as the name says, at about 20 hertz, now you can listen to them at about 400 hertz, which is much easier to your ear. Okay, so by being able to listen and inspect the spectrograms of all your detected calls and acoustic events, this makes it an excellent tool for either outreach reasons, to showcase the acoustic soundscape and the different calls that whales make at your site. But it also really helps to ground truth the acoustic data that you collected, and to investigate it to a degree that the computer doesn't. For example, with Orca, you can inspect which ecotype was present at the site. And in other instances, you can just inspect whether the detection was correct or whether it was noise or a different species.